Hey, little miss. There you go. I won't get run over.
Hey everyone! Welcome to Jarviskjir Horn of Plenty. Jeez.
Cat safety is an important
Cat
part.
safety is an
lives.
important part of a stream. I agree. My cat nearly knocked me over as I was coming back with my coffee because she goes full tilt up my stairs like a rocket. Just trying to take me out, and my unreasonably small coffee cup with me.
Hello.
All right, it's forgiven. So, it's been a little while. It's been like a month due to sickness and hard work and busyness. Ian is just the busiest one of us. There's so many prior commitments, so many big things going on with Ian.
I've had to cancel 3 just to make this appearance tonight, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But
4
we're
weeks
here.
in a row, though, Ian. Jesus.
I'm in high demand, what can I say?
Had to see Avengers Endgame 4 weeks in a row.
It was worth it. It was planned 2 years in advance.
I
enjoyed that meme.
It's a great meme. It's a Wednesday show meme.
Dean hates it. It is soul.
We think that we deserve a little recap of what happened because it's only week 3. I thought we were actually on like week 4 or 5 because you did so much during the 2 weeks that we had. So a little bit of recap of Horn of Plenty. This takes place on a different continent on the globe of Jarviskjir, Mother's Horn, far, far away. Where about the village of Cornucopia, which was ransacked, burned, and destroyed by a green dragon, Malekes. Poisoned the ground, set a horde of Minotaur against you, destroying and killing. But you guys fought them away, which I didn't even expect you would do. And have set upon rebuilding your town. The main issue being the pollution of the land and losing all your food stores so close to winter, as it's like the kind of middle of autumn, if I remember correctly. Like winter's coming, you need to prepare. In doing various things in preparing, your current task is to go to the Gnomish Enclave downriver that Belara has some knowledge of, some allies within, and try and get a little bit of a temporary food source from them. You've previously been able to generate a lot of food by purifying the poisoned fish from the river, but that's not the most reliable food source, whereas, you know, the gnomes, they grow something in the caves, and you have caves and mines behind your village, so you're going to try and go there and make trade, make parlay with them, something that has never really been done before, officially anyway. And that's where we... is there anything else that I majorly forgotten? I don't think so. That's a good enough recap.
My dad lost his leg.
Yeah.
Richter believes it's appropriate to talk to him in an extremely high voice.
Yes! Belara is the only one who really knows anything about these gnomes, because she has friends amongst them. So has been seeding all sorts of lies on the way to Clearkeep going down the valley. And that's where we begin with you guys trekking, hiking along the valley towards Clearkeep. It's a little ways, but you're not, you know, Belara moving on her own can move much quicker through this environment, you know. But lugging around these 3, especially the slow-moving Amaryllis, does slow down your travel time quite a bit, meaning for safety's sake, you're probably going to want to actually camp out at some point during this journey. Unless you want to try and rush, that is. The downside to rushing being that you have worse perception on seeing anything that's going on your journey. So I kind of imagined you were just going to go at a normal pace on the way. Any sort of chatter you guys would be having on the way? I know we interrupted some.
Balara might suggest building a raft while we camp to go downriver without expending a lot of energy.
The river flows the other way. I might have used the wrong terminology.
Oh, okay.
But that would be good on the way back.
Yeah.
I guess we're going upriver.
She would suggest building a raft for the way back.
We're heading inland, basically. Well, a raft is a good idea then.
For the way back.
So we've got, but it's where we'd want to. But maybe we just build it outside the place there and then just schwooze down on it.
Yeah.
But don't fall in, because further down it's full of horrific sickness.
Yes, the
Pollutants.
The river itself is polluted, as is the ground. Even further down the valley, down this far. While you're traveling, this place is called the Green Valley for a reason, right? Even this far into the year, it is still green. There's patches of snow where the sun hasn't shone, like in the shadows of pine trees and things. But there's pockets of forest, pockets of wildflowers and things. But there are almost stains of death and pollution, mostly flowing from the river. That just the plant life doesn't necessarily die all the times, as you encountered with the forest nearby your village. But it does change sometimes. And it is noticeable. It is noticeable the corruption, for lack of a better word, has been spreading. While even as far out as you're traveling now. Can all of you give me either perception or nature checks?
Yes, sir.
+4, huh?
+7.
Well, I was really impressed with a +4 for a few moments. Amaryllis, while you're traveling, and these guys are having a little bit of idle chatter, which is pretty funny because both Balara and Richter hate each other. So there's Tauren talking with Balara for a bit, and then Tauren talking with Richter for a bit, but never the two shall cross. Amanda Amaryllis not really talking to anyone because she is a tree. Which gives you a lot of time to observe this valley as you're traveling through it in a way that only a long-lived, distant fae can. Something you notice as the skies begin to darken with an autumnal evening is that the ground beneath your feet is growing more and more unsteady. Not to the extent of falling through or quicksand or anything like that, but it's looser. The ground is much looser. While there are plants that do grow in this soil, one of the reasons you notice is that the grass is a different type of grass. And considering you, every now and again, your roots do actually plunge into the ground while you're walking, you know, you'd start to notice the ground is significantly looser. Not necessarily a danger, but Amaryllis is one of those people who would notice something like this while you're traveling.
And we're effectively, because we're going uphill, presumably, are we beginning to climb up like the side of a...
You're not really. You're kind of like, I mean, there's peaks and troughs, but you're really just walking on one side of the valley. So you're not really going up.
Okay.
This would be quite hard to go uphill in this kind of terrain. That would be when you'd really notice it. But just traveling side to side.
Like sandy almost?
It is. It's like there's actually like a chart that I have somewhere of soil types, and this is like it's not all the way to sand, but it's like it's on the sandy side. You know.
It's a 3 out of 10.
It's a 3 out of 10 sandiness. Probably
1
like
being sandy, 10 being stone.
Does it look like it's more or less affected by the corruption, or is there no difference?
When it comes to the corruption, it doesn't seem to be any sort of difference. So actually, the area you're traveling through right now isn't all that rough. It's really like the water side where you see like straight up dead animals that have like drank from the water and died and things like that. Which is one of the reasons why that's a very valid question, because while you're traveling, you do notice another of the village's dead sheep. They just fled when the dragon attacked, because you didn't really have like proper fencing or anything, and the fences that were there just got like shot down by fire arrows. So the sheep and the goats just gone. It is very much dead, sitting entirely amongst this sandy, unstable soil.
Okay. Amaris wouldn't make a big deal of it, but when there was a lot in the conversation, she would just speak up and say, the ground here is loose. If we have need to move quickly or woe betide us to fight, it is worth keeping in mind. It could be dangerous for sudden movements.
We won't need to fight though, right? There's nothing here. Any animals have died or left the area. It's just not.
That assumes that all the creatures that drank of the river we see here dead. Corruption spreads. They might survive and mutate like those rats. But yes, the hope should be to avoid having to fight anything.
Right, yeah. He looks deflated at the thought of the rats.
I noticed that and roll my eyes.
But it seems time to make a little camp. Your first party camp outside of village. How are you going to go about that?
Indira molds earth. No.
I build a house. I build a house on Amaryllis and climb into it.
I mean, like, Amaryllis basically just like stands still in like the middle and basically takes root. So you could like hang a tent off her one side of a tent quite easily.
Just like walk up to Amaryllis.
I like the idea that like
just squatting in the top.
I like the idea of Belara like looking around for a good place to camp, and then just Amaryllis has just stopped and taken root. Like, well, I guess this is it.
With Richter just hanging from a hammock off of her. No, I feel like Belara could probably whip up a really, really fast shelter out of twigs,
wood,
like just something over her head.
Give me a survival roll.
Sure.
It's going to be an easy DC because this is like a talent of yours.
Ooh, how easy?
10 easy.
Okay.
10 good enough to make, it's not. You're not making a shelter for everyone.
It would have been for everyone. She would have tried to make it for everyone.
A 10 is just
Amaryllis.
this space. Probably because of the strange soil, is very little trees. So you're mostly using like driftwood and the wood that you trust, and a lot of the wood, maybe due to the corruption, maybe due to the time of year that you find, just crumbles. But you do manage to make like a little bit of shelter, which is like enough that you can cook under it. Or some of the way that like probably Torin would think. If someone was sick, you would put them in this little shelter while the rest didn't matter. But you're all good. What shifts are you taking? Who's taking watch?
I would go first. I would want to go first.
Okay.
I'll take the middle.
Torrid is already chowing down.
I guess Amaryllis is taking the other middle bed.
Okay, and Torin's taking the
Oh,
morning.
great. He gets to wake up just early, and that's it. Glorious.
Okay. Can you all give me perception checks, please?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope so. Jesus Christ, Doxy! What the
I'm
fuck?
busy putting food in my mouth. Torin's like, you've got to stay strong, everyone.
I also like the idea that that's like Torin's first watch is making an intensive breakfast the whole time. He's not really keeping watch. He's just putting a lot of effort into breakfast because he's just this.
Nothing's going to attack you in the morning, right? They've had all night.
Exactly. You won't actually attack during the night. Amaryllis.
But you are in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning you get yeeted. Amaryllis. Something you would notice when you rest. You don't necessarily sleep like a mortal does, but you do slumber. But over the night, this is a sort of a during the night thing. This isn't you waking people up during the night. This is something you kind of notice during the night and even more so during the morning. Especially when you dig your roots further down for rest. You can feel underground. This loose soil goes quite a way down, which is a bit weird. Usually soil like this would blow in from somewhere, and not be very deep, or be a shore or something like that. It's very deep, and you can feel it moving, shifting with vibrations of what is definitely some kind of burrowing creatures that exist in this patch of sandy soil. And by patch, I mean it's a huge area you're traveling through. Yes, it is slow, and it's not, you know, if it ever got so aggressive, you would immediately like startle up and awake the party. It's not like you're ever attacked by it, but you can sense that there are things, most likely things that sense via vibration in the soils.
Okay. At the end of last session, off a history check, one of the races we know about is Greylings. Is this close enough to the river to likely be Greylings or not?
It could be Greylings. You would kind of think that during the morning, and with that 20 perception check, like, just maybe take a little bit of a walk closer to the river. You don't see any Gwailing dams nearby. They live in quite noticeable dams, mounds of mud and sticks and things. You don't see any down here. That doesn't mean they aren't there, but it's unlikely.
Okay, then Amris, upon walking back, probably interrupting everyone else's breakfast because she has no need to eat, will just say, during the night, with my roots in the ground, I felt vibrations of burrowing creatures. I do not believe there are Greylings in this area, so I do not know what it might be, but it is...
Should we move? Should we have even... Why didn't you say anything? Surely it's not safe.
They are not... Whatever it is does not seem to be aggressive. If it had been moving towards us or anything of the sort, I would have awoken you, young Torin. But it is something to consider. I do not know what it might be. And while we are on this sandy ground, if it were to turn aggressive, it could come up at any point and anywhere around us.
So
we'll just keep an eye out.
Polara, that won't work. It's underground.
It must come out of the ground to do anything to us.
Yeah, but what if it comes out of the ground around your foot?
I will kill it.
I would hope that we have some forewarning. The vibrations are noticeable with my roots, although that is more difficult when we are moving. But it is better than being caught unawares.
About solid ground, is there anything harder, solid stone that we could travel on? Should we cross the river? I mean, I know it's not necessarily something bad, but we should be careful. I mean, if we get stuck out here or delayed, the others are going to pay for it. They've not got enough food for an extended time. I mean, we're relying on Amaryllis enough as it is already.
Balara is like, I imagine her sitting up next to the fire and like packing up stuff. And rather than putting her boots on her feet, she's going to go ahead and throw them in her pack and be like, I will feel too. We just need to move lightly and quickly and keep an eye open. We're going to be okay.
I do not know this area well enough to say whether there is firmer soil elsewhere. It would take time enough to search for it.
Would I know, Ollie?
Yeah.
You could definitely make me a survival roll to try and, plot routes that are safer.
Okay.
No. You, unlike Amaryllis, who is a tree, have a harder time noticing the difference between soil types and the grass types that she could notice quite easily. But it's just something a human who has trouble noticing.
Well,
I've made this journey a dozen times. I've never been attacked before.
Had a dragon recently riled up the local wildlife.
Can't say that it did, but I don't know. Richter was born at one point.
He's not. Right.
Traveling in groups, if these creatures respond to vibrations, then groups will be noisier to them. But I do agree, it is probably not worth going out of our way. They have shown no aggression thus far. They likely will not in the future.
Well, I protect us then.
we could discuss the earth beneath our feet all day, or we could keep going. I suggest we do the latter.
Yeah, let's do that,
Aye.
Richter.
And
Head
we'll
off the
raft on the
feet.
way back.
Good plan.
All right, you start heading out. Bilar and Amaryllis keeping a feel out with their feetsies. What?
That's a close word. That's all I'm saying. It's a close word.
Okay. And
Seize.
my brain has been turned off. And you keep moving. A little careful. But not slower or faster. Can you all give me dexterity checks, please?
With
Flat dex
pleasure.
checks.
Flat dex checks, not saves.
Oh, fuck's sake. Obviously.
A tree.
Apparently, yeah. I am one with the land. What can I say?
Sorry, guys.
That's exactly it. Amaryllis is extremely one with the land. Now that you are aware that something is most likely hunting via vibrations in this soil, you can move in and literally spread your feet wider as to not have more louder footprints, essentially. And move very carefully with a long stride. I may have designed this check kind of expecting Neil to fuck up, but not that much. This
I do
is
things with style.
This is you guys trying to move a little carefully, knowing that the soil's like this. And Blara, you're not incredibly terrible or anything like that. It's Torin who, at one point during this travel, trips over a root. Straight up trips, foot gets stuck under it, clunk onto the ground. All the like things spilling out of his pack on like is loud. It is so loud that like it echoes through the valley for a few moments. And everyone looks at him.
Pots and pans clinging together.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a Samwise.
I was definitely imagining the sound like you are definitely. Who else is carrying the cooking pot? Neil. It's Torin.
Only because it's useful for making medicine.
Yeah. And that is when the ground shifts and shakes around you. And before you can get up, mandibles snap out of the ground and pull Torin up with it. This large, heavily armored, sandy brown insect creature with a very wide, flat head, almost like, kind of dragony, scuttles out of the ground with Torin in its mandibles. Not seeming entirely concerned about the rest of you. Can y'all, please, when I declare it, roll initiative?
Fuck.
Oh, this new update is great.
The way
Really?
they changed the way Zoom works, it takes a little moment to get used to it.
Yeah, having to
I'm not
remember to
quite-
right click.
Yeah, I've not quite got it yet, and it's
You can also
disgusting.
middle click to pan if you have a middle click option.
Ah, I feel like that was a thing before, maybe.
Yes, it was.
Nice initiative, Richter. Trained warrior, are we? Richter.
He's slow and steady.
Jesus Christ, we're all slow and steady.
Like, well, let's see if the monster also gets slow and steady. That would be pretty memes.
I think I need to restart
Yes!
roll 20.
No, roll 20 is just being strange.
It's just
about...
slow.
So we noticed this earlier, that sometimes rolls are still not sending in roll 20, as they have been previously. However, if you roll it while adding it to the initiative tracker, although the roll doesn't show up, it adds it to the initiative tracker. So we can't see Doxy's roll, but we know she rolled a 26.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
That does
I
make
noticed
sense.
this earlier. It's quite interesting.
Yeah!
Apparently it's due to lots of hacks that are going on, and they're always targeting the same bit of code, and they're just trying to plug up that code, and it results in this.
Gotta plug them gaps. Plug it in with a cabin boy. That's what I always
It's
say.
literally going.
Ancient meme. Belara, you are the fastest on your feet. So when this giant clawed chitinous insect crawls out of the ground, and still like its like backside is still in the ground, pulling itself out of the tunnel it's making, which is filling in with sandy ground. What do you want to do?
First, I want to tell you that I love the way that you say Claude. And then I want to move here.
How would you say it?
She just
I just
said it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice how I said it differently.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Claude.
Claude.
I love it.
Oh,
As you'll be
fair.
Claude. And then she goes,
Dripping with
Claude.
honey.
That's
it was pretty. I loved it.
It's
Or,
the Queen's English.
Or, it is a chlorid beast.
It gave me them eargasms. I was into it. I liked it. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to shoot down into the hole. At him.
Whoa. Yeah.
Do I have? If he's
Don't
down
shoot
in the
me in the
hole,
hole.
The
do I
creature
still
is...
have? Do I still have advantage?
You don't
Or
have
flanking
advantage
him.
because Torum is not offering an advantage because Torum is
Okay.
in the beast's mouth. The creature is not also fully in the hole because it's like pulling out. But you, why this is actually logical. you are smart enough to know that it's only going to turn around and go back in. So you like sliding in to stab at it is smart. So no advantage.
Okay. Ha!
You also attacked
my
with your
God.
bow. Ha! You attacked with your bow, which might not be what you meant to do.
No, that is 100. I was shooting down into the hole.
Oh!
Like down at what's buried.
You would have had disadvantage anyway on that because you're shooting in melee. So you do get to reroll.
Well then, I will take the disadvantage because this is what she would do.
Yeah, no,
Right now, I was like, I am a merciful.
It's the rule of Eric.
No, it is true. Long since established.
Long since established.
Today's my day, boys. The day's my day.
Oh, that's beauteous.
Wouldn't it have been great if it had been 666 though?
That would have been
Jesus.
That would have been
spooky.
something.
Opposite of Jesus.
As you skid to the position and prepare your bow and try to shoot down, the ground gives way under you. You actually end up down in the pit with the spiked legs of these creatures, basically being trampled by it as it's shifting and moving. You are actually going to take some damage and be prone. You're going to take 2 piercing damage.
All right.
And be knocked prone. And unless you have a roguish action you can take or anything like that.
Oh, hold on.
You might.
You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy target is within 5 feet of it. If that enemy isn't incapacitated. Okay. All right. I thought maybe Richter could have triggered that. Never mind. Can I use my bonus action? I could dash, disengage, or hide.
You could dash to get up because it takes half your movement.
Okay, I will do that. And then I will just stay there and end my turn.
Yeah. That's probably the smartest thing to do. Torin, you're up next.
I probably don't want to stay in its mandibles. However, I'm not sure I'll get free.
Yeah,
Is this an El Clasico grapple check of me versus monster with an increased DC?
No, this is an escape DC.
Oh, is it a dex?
Escape DCs are usually strength or dex, depending on your flavor.
Well, I'll give it one try. Try.
It is an action.
That's fine. Is it an athletics?
It's meant to be just strength or dex. I often accidentally allow athletics because I'm dumb but nice.
No, they are allowed in grapples. You can.
But this is an escape DC.
Yeah,
Slightly different, but not quite different enough.
It's like opposed grapples that you use athletics.
That actually is enough. As the ground gives way under it from Balara eating shit, the creature actually kind of rears more upwards, which actually you take that advantage of it not paying so much attention to Superman your way, push the mandibles open, which is good because, you know, further inside the mouth are just way more chittering mouth parts that are dripping with something foul smelling.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And you, I didn't hear what you just said. Illegal. And you drop to the ground, out of its mouth, free of the grapple, not prone. That's just free.
Then
the mandibles clash together with a clunking noise when you pull out.
Torin makes a gesture, grabs his holy symbol. You see a faint purple light in his hand, and he says a prayer of protection to Eitrick, and this is on himself.
A sanctuary. A sanctuary. Wow. Okay. Richter!
Okay, what I'm going to do is do one of them, and then 2 of them. And I'm going to take my spear and stab it right in the fucking eye.
Can you give me an intelligence check before that Richter. This is free. This is a free action intelligence check.
To tell you,
doesn't
you're a
have
dumbass because
eyes.
it's got blind sight or tremor sense. That's it. I don't know. I can't remember how D&D works.
Eye is still the quickest way to the brain in like any organism.
Intelligence check.
Intelligence check. As you see the creature, like I said, it's reared back. The underside of this creature has significantly less of the tough chitinous plating. It's a bit more fleshy on the underside, which is currently showing slightly enough of a stab down with a spear could pierce into. So yes, an eye would attacking the eyes would be good. You've got a
This
chance
image.
for a much better strike.
Image of this thing rearing up, and on the top it's this vicious insect monster, and underneath it's just Dean. Just hello.
It's like a. Okay.
There's a chimera.
So
from
if you make an attack right now, it will have a less armor class.
Yeah, I will yell that to the rest of the guys. Go for its underside.
Cool, I love
Humble
being
pie,
behind
humble
it for
pie.
this part.
That is a hit. The spear
Crimson Sedge.
pierces through with a spray of yellow ichor.
Ah,
Also a hit.
ah.
Damn, 20.
Ian, you are killing it, bud.
That's pretty damn strong.
The creature lets out a screeching, clicking noise, which is only added to by the hiss of the inner, almost hydraulic mechanics of a giant insect as the inner fluids are spraying out of its
You
belly.
stabbed it in the swim bladder.
Stab
The
it.
land swim bladder.
Flabby titties that bounce around on the underside of its plating, and that will do me.
Dean likes these things. Thankfully, it hasn't got nipples.
I didn't say that.
That was the weakest laugh
It's funny,
from Doxy, just like.
but mildly funny.
The creature will crunch back down onto its front legs, revealing that its front legs are not, while it is insectoid, the front legs are more like almost lobster claw, like appendages.
Got little grabbers.
Which it grabs down into the ground, and then Lurch bites its head, almost like extending. You can hear clicking and snapping from its body as it attempts to bite Richter. What's your armor class, Richter?
18, sir.
You manage to swiftly move, and while the thing does bite you, it gets on hold of the armor, which you can kind of like shrug and shift your shoulders and make it its jaws snap open and pull back. That's when the ground continues to shake and
Amaryllis.
shift. And all the way over here, another Ankeg breaks free of the ground and will start skittering towards the fight.
Don't like that.
Of course not.
Give me
Trees
skittering
Amaryllis.
sounds.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
I want skittering sounds, please. Ollie.
I'm letting you insert whatever skittering sounds your imagination
Okay.
desires.
Yeah, I'm going to reference Zoe here. Give us the Foley.
It's funny because that's like that's an OG D&D meme, because Megan used to do the Foley for all the monsters we encountered.
She did, that's true.
If
That
I
is true.
mentioned that like a harpy screamed, she would scream.
It was a good one. They were good, to be
They
fair.
were,
They
yeah,
good.
it was a talent.
Here, I got you.
Oh no, another one.
Ian, please.
Okay, yes. Amaryllis bows her head forward for a moment, the hair covering her face, and the flowers start to bloom more intensely. And she brings her head back up. I'm casting Speak with Animals. And when she speaks, like you still hear her voice speaking common, but you also hear this sort of weird overlay of like clicking sounds similar to the monsters. And she says, "Creatures of the soil, we are sorry for disturbing your rest, but know that if you face us, you will lose your lives."
I was really hoping that you will lose your face if you face us.
She's not that witty.
No.
While this does echo through the air, almost swirling like a tornado of wind, the creatures themselves do not seem to react other than it briefly pauses, perhaps due to the literal magic of the wind and the sound, but not understanding.
So it can't, like, yeah, okay, fair. It was worth a try.
It may not be a beast.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, it has to be, that's annoying. No, I get it. Like, I completely get it. It's just annoying that it's, like, specifically beasts.
I may allow it in some other circumstances, but not this one.
Yeah, no, it's entirely reasonable. Okay, 1, 2, 3,
Run away!
4, 5, and then I shall take root.
Ka-thunk.
Yeah.
God damn, my throat, that gunk.
Hello.
I don't want to hear about your gunky throat, Neil. I want to hear about Doxy's gunky throat.
Ho-ho!
I think.
You do have advantage on an attack against it, like totes.
Yeah, but chitin.
Yeah?
And
Its underbelly is from this position, you can't attack its underbelly. You know, it's on its legs.
And its abdomen is underground, yeah?
It's very close to the ground. It's kind of like standing over. There's not so much a tunnel underneath it anymore, because the soil's kind of filled back in, but there's definitely a pit that a small lady could probably slide into.
I was just gonna say, what if I, like, the rock slide, right? The rock power slide. With my sword up.
There are...
Pull it open.
That would be a tumble check, which is
So
your acrobatics versus its athletics.
Let's go.
Just fucking stands on you. Oh, God. This really hurts.
Spicy.
18 is
Absolutely. The thing is so preoccupied with the two in front of it that you can slide under and basically be under the creature right now to make an attack.
Okay, advantage or no?
No advantage, but it has way less... Oh, it does have advantage because you're flanking anyway. Yes. You have advantage and it's got
Maybe
lower
a
AC.
Triple.
It's a
Let's
double,
go.
but that's okay. That's a hit.
Yes. And I get sneak attack because I have advantage. Still. And I'd like to dash
Did the sneak
back
attack?
out.
Did the sneak attack roll or?
Yeah, I got a 6. Can
okay.
you not see it?
No.
No.
I will send you a
I don't need the screenshots.
Okay.
I just need you to say it. Doxy would never lie to me.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. You get under it, cut in when it moves, and the ichor just sprays over you. Unfortunately, you can kind of hear the creature wheezing as the fluids that runs its body are being pulled out of it, essentially. But it is not yet down, although you see it kind of like stagger on its legs and wobble.
Me?
Yeah, I would dash back out to where I am.
Torin.
Doran, emboldened by the strikes of his friends, draws his mace and clubs its head in.
I fight too, guys.
Job's done.
You're just jealous.
That's a hit.
Kill steal confirmed.
Guess how much HP it had left, Neil?
8.
That is a kill. Do you just bop it hard on the head?
So Torin sees everything that's going on. He brings it round and proper clocks it. It's sort of a glancing blow, and it like sends it right off balance. And as it topples, he brings round the mace again and again. Don't worry, guys. I got it.
That's the gases, the fluids spraying out of the underbelly. Yeah, it's particularly gross because the way you killed it, you get it onto its back, and like the fountain of the fluid spraying out, it kind of just bleeds to death essentially on its back,
Poor
not able to
thing.
do anything.
Oh
about
no,
it.
I was
Yeah.
definitely hitting the head each time.
Yeah. That just
Trying
keeps
to
it.
a good time.
What else you want to do?
Oh crap! There's another. Okay, right. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Move to it.
Literally.
It's getting closer.
1, 2, 3.
This weren't Ankeg, I would be mad.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Okay.
I've
5.
been waiting all this time to
6.
hear that from a Dean.
18.
A Dean, yeah.
Not this Dean.
No. Victor!
Ah!
I love that you're Torn running up to it and significantly slowing down as he gets closer to the creature, like.
I just lose momentum, like.
How is this one positioned? Can I get to its underside?
You could try and make a tumble check. It will be harder because it's not got the lower ground under it. But you
And
can
you've
try.
got a spear.
Is that athletics?
That is so. It could be athletics. The tumble is acrobatics. Athletics is power through, I think. But yeah, you can make it athletics to do the same thing.
Okay.
Power to forcibly spread his legs.
Oh, you son of a bitch, border bastard. He's almost got me.
That is just good enough for you to, like, as you're running, duck down and, like, get under it like a wedge. It sees you coming and knows what you're trying to do with. Like, you have to, like, dodge the arms. It's very cinematic, very cool for you to move essentially 5 feet.
Spinning cone.
Please make an attack.
No.
But the spear is incredibly unwieldy while you're under the creature with all of its legs moving and shifting. So while you do get under it, for a moment, that attack doesn't succeed, and you are forced out of that position because you can't be in its space for the end of turn.
Excuse me, madam. Get off my face. Lion King reference. It's PC. And PG.
Okay, well, what I'm about to do is neither. Creature scuttles, shifting and pushing Richter with its legs, the barbs on it, leaving minor cuts. It doesn't seem to immediately focus on Richter. Instead, it rears back for a moment and sprays acid out of its mouth over Tauren and Amaryllis.
Oh, lovely.
So both of you, please make me a dexterity save.
If it targets me with an attack or harmful spell, is this
It's
an
a
attack?
line, though. It's not really targeting you. It's spraying a line. So as much as I kind of want to be nice and allow it,
Yeah,
Don't
no,
think
it
that's how
doesn't-
Sanctuary
doesn't-
works.
Yeah, it doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects.
I can also use my reaction to make a melee attack against it because it's attacked someone other than me.
yeah.
Dex saving throw, was it? Sorry.
Dex save and throw from
I'll just throw a second.
Nerd
It's
Crew.
your boy.
What did you roll, Neil?
18.
Oh, 20.
Okay.
Wait, which is -1 to make it a 19.
You are still going to take some damage because it does spray acid. And this is like, it sprays up and it falls down on a lot of you, right? That's how it does it. It's not like actually a beam. The amount of damage, you're going to take 5 because that's halved. 5 acid damage from that, both of you.
I would just like to point out, I'm glad I saved successfully, because if I did not, I would now be unconscious.
Oh, I
Really?
forgot how low health Amaryllis is. That's
Yeah.
so good. That's so
Oh, it's
Ian.
not actually concentration, never mind. I made a
Yeah.
concentration check, but it's not. Sanctuary's so good.
Next is Amaryllis.
Amaryllis is...
While
Gonna
the
judge
ground
this.
around you burns from the acid spray.
Yeah, Amaryllis is going to leave this up to the other three and is just going to spread her roots out and try and sense if there are any others like approaching.
Perception check. It feels like these are the only two that are coming up to this fight. It's very likely that there are others in the region, but not others that are traveling to join in right now anyway.
Okay, and that's it for my turn. Because I'm literally useless in combat.
Belara time.
Oh, hey, hi, hello.
Our time. Do, 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 do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I was thinking more like Belara time, and then it's her turn in Mario Party, and she goes. And I was imagining particularly the city map in Mario Party 8, so she went and bought some property and got a star. I know my Mario Party.
So, would it have been possible for me to pick up my short bow and then dash to this spot and then still attack this boy?
Yeah, picking up some you can interact with an item once for free, so that would be plop.
Okay.
Well, actually, it would be your bonus action because you had your short sword out. Short sword away, bonus action, pick up bow, run, shoot. You're still good.
Okay.
That's why sometimes these guys say like I drop my weapon because you can drop things for 3. It's just they're gonna end up on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I had assumed that I had done when I.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the times it is easy to just. Yeah.
I do not get sneak attack.
Nope.
It's in combat with an ally.
We're within 5 feet of it. If you read your sneak attack rules.
Yeah.
It says only if. Oh, you are correct. Sneak attack.
Well, this might be a much better attack. I'm glad that you waited until I hadn't described it yet. So this is actually straight up on the head, and these things have this big crested head of armor plating, and it cracks through into the armor, even leaving a crack in the head, quite impressively. Next is Torin.
Oh, Torin! Torin smash!
Torin!
He's a Pokemon now. Oh no!
That is a miss. You swing and it just strikes the tough chitin, and even your mace gets like stuck on the spiky protrusions. But you manage to pull away before it.
I've got him, Rector! I threw a lot of accent into that one because I wanted to, but Torin doesn't sound like that.
Well, no, that was a bit of Wallace. Rector.
I will try and drive my spear through like an opening between like the 2 plates or whatever.
Please.
Oh, that's better.
It's a hit.
There we go.
It's a great hit. You can like plunge, push the creature back.
I have him, Torin, said Richter. Alright, that's my turn.
You are hitting that boy like for something fierce.
I'm big. I'm
This,
bad.
Oh, that's why you're adding your proficiency modifier to damage.
No, that's not true. Is it?
No. No, it's not.
Is it not?
I've got dueling.
Oh, you rolled a 2.
Okay.
Why did it show that? Oh. Yeah.
Yes, to take a brief aside, the Oracle Oracle class is only exclusive that once it's tested in this game will be on Patreon. And then maybe on my website. But this one definitely needs testing because it's weird. But so far it's been pretty good, other than some Ollie-ish. It doesn't make sense.
I think skill monkey classes are difficult to get right, particularly dependent on campaign.
That's why all my homebrew classes have the foreword. This is for a roleplay heavy game.
Yeah.
They wouldn't work on like a dungeon crawl or
Yeah,
something.
absolutely not.
You probably feel a bit.
Which is why I'm making the most of my skill checks and such like, because it's my main thing. So
the Ankeg is going to, as you push it back, knock you aside, Richter, with its claw, and then just snap, bite. The sharp points on the mandibles piercing your armor. You are going to be grappled by the creature, and you're also going to take...
Ow!
That's going to be 11 slashing damage, plus 1 acid damage.
Jesus.
Bent my nose hairs a bit.
And you are going to be grappled. Yes, exactly. As you're like pulled closer and closer to the small mouth inside, you can see the green acid, and you can smell it. You can smell just the acrid nature of it. Amaryllis.
Going to finally bite the bullet, pull out my short bow, and fire at the thing.
Just 2 10s to knock, pull back, and fire.
Yeah, and a miss.
Oh.
I'm not surprised.
That'll do.
Show off.
You get to double crit damage, sneak attack damage as well. Woo-hoo-wee!
A 6 and a 4?
You need to roll
What's
that.
the bow damage?
9.
Oh, you click. I see.
Cool.
You did click it.
Yeah.
That is nearly a kill, but not quite.
Tor's
This
gonna nick it again.
strike into like the neck area brings the creature staggered and slow, but still standing on many legs.
Torin reaches, grabs hold of one of the leftmost, the mandible in front of him that's clasped around Richter, puts his foot on it, and pulls.
You're gonna try and get him out of the grapple.
Yeah.
Strength. Chork. That is not enough.
I tried.
You tried.
Go on, buddy.
Richter.
All right. I will attempt to do the same. I want to free myself.
That's the turn.
I should have taken help action. Damn you,
Too
AW.
late, nerd.
Oh, actually, wait. Can I? I am grappled, but I can still take attack at disadvantage, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be brave.
He wants to kill. He's thirsty. Smells it.
That's attractive.
Disadvantage. Roll. Giz. That. No! You son of a bitch.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 17 and a 2.
Oof.
Oh no.
And now you're gonna die.
I'll use my second wind and squeeze some life into me. Nope, can't do that. No, second wind's a bonus action, isn't it? Yeah, I'll do that then.
That or a free action or something. I don't know.
You should know.
Ooh! He's like that little toothpaste that once you get rolling, you got a whole load more in there.
Seeing Torin trying to help gives you a bunch more fighting spirit.
Jesus, that's max health.
Unfortunately, the creature is going to continue biting down on you because it can't do much else, and is going to hit. So that's going to be a further
Take me. Come on.
10 slashing plus 2 acid. You can take it.
It's basically like it didn't happen.
He's really
It's basically like that healed you for 1 hit point.
Amaryllis.
The statistics with Balara.
Taking another shot.
Kill Steel Inc.
No, the same exact roll.
Ian and ranged weaponry.
I think Amaryllis' skill checks have been great so far. It's just she's living up to her complete inability in combat very well.
And the thing is, it's not that Amaryllis is missing, it's that the arrows just kind of glance off the armored creature. Or she adjusts too far to the side to not hit Richter. Stuff like that. Sometimes she just fucking misses. Bella!
Hello. I'm gonna charge in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna charge in with my sword.
I want to hit it with my sword.
Because hate him or no, she doesn't want him to die.
And he was just sexy. But not as
He
sexy
was
as
just a
another
little
crit.
sexy. Another crit.
Bro,
Doesn't
what?
suck.
What's going on with Doxy?
Doxy, how do you want to kill this beast?
Oh, I don't even do my sneak attacks. Okay.
Well,
okay.
you know,
you have to.
overkill.
This is
Please.
the rule. You have to.
You
Okay,
might as well.
alright.
Rule of rogue.
Literally, she's just gonna come up, like swipe off its mandible. That, yeah, and then elbow it in the face, and her elbow, like it maybe it's weakened from arrows or something, but like its face is just caved in
Cracks
after that.
the chitin in the face, just crunches inwards. Ugh.
Elbows it in the face, and like her entire elbow just like shatters. The arms all floppy. It's like, oh god! Why did I do that?
And with that, defeating the Ankeg ambush, looks like insect meat's back on the menu, boys. And we can take not even a tickling of a laugh at that. Okay.
On keg. More like on dead.
That got a laugh. That got a laugh. Okay. Okay. That's.
It was so bad. It just was like, what?
I laughed at your not even a laugh for what it's worth. That's what I was laughing at.
We are gonna be back. I'm gonna have a stern talking to these people. I'll be back in a few handful of minutes.